Okay, guys, so many questions. What to do now? Let's go back in here, right? So this is a H bar, it's going up, right? Then we had the next questions. Which one was it? Kaito. Let's look this Kaito who was asking about that, right? Kaito. Right? What I would do here, right? Always the same thing completely, right? But to be honest, I don't like this chart because it doesn't have too much of price action, right? Maybe I choose the wrong one. Maybe on some other exchange it has the longer price action. But what I would do in here is I will simply draw this range, right? And I go lower time frame. I will check if anything is going on in here, right? Again, we can see the order block change in order flow, right? Price going higher, right? Most likely it would reach this 50%, right? In here. So, but the thing is, I do not like to be entering long after such a move, right? So what we can do? We can go 4 hours, right? And look. Again, we're looking where's the liquidity, right? And again, we apply the same thing, right? We have this candle closing above this one, right? Did any candle sweep it and close below? No, look. It's still bullish, right? Still the liquidity is above, right? So what you're looking for then, you're looking for some sweep lower and then price going higher, right? So let's go to the 1 hour, right? I like this level, right? These down candles from where we have seen this sharp move higher, right? Also this range is quite nice one, quite big move, right? Like a CLS, right? Something like that. I would draw in here. Maybe I would draw it like this, right? And this is liquidity. Then I put my color, my favorite color, right? Like this. And what I would be looking for on the M15 maybe, right? If I get some kind of a sweep, right, the false break, then with some nice pullback, rejection, and then I would be expecting something like this happen, right? Always try to wait for the trap, for the traders to be trapped, right? For something like this, right? Below here, right? Because if you enter here, what you gonna do? You gonna be liquidity, right? There will be situations, right? This looks good, but you need to wait for here. You want to go from the lowest possible, right? And to wait for this pullback inside and the retest, right? That's what you want to see, right? Obviously, that sometimes it's going to happen that price will not do this and it will go up, right? Then you miss the trade. That's no problem, right? But you want to have the highest probability. It's here, right? So that's what I would do on the Kaito if I have to trade it at this moment, right? So what I'm doing sometimes when I have situations like this, I simply draw this and then I put the alert in here, right? And then leave the chart, right? I have we don't see it right now, so it's like that, right? This clocks means the alert, right? So yeah, I would simply wait in here. Next, what's the next questions? Okay, guys, so let's go through this question. That's quite a lot. Okay, so Kaito analyzes. How do you identify monthly, daily, weekly CLS ranges? All right. How are you, David? It's nice to see you. Okay. Could you list the elements that can be considered as a killers? Okay, guys. I'm actually preparing some kind of a presentation, but I will show you all of these things, right? So, what is actually a CLS range, right? Let me explain you. There is a market operator which is trading 6.5, it's actually already 7 trillion daily volume, right? They operating behind the banks, right? Behind many big trading banks, right? Now you can might think, yeah, it's maybe for the forex or some indices and these things. Trust me, these guys are already in the crypto yet. Maybe not in all the altcoins, but somehow the price actions simply do the same things, right? And what I want to explain you, the CLS, these big guys are simply doing a big candles, right? That's it, right? So what you need to see is a big candle. So if we're looking here on this kiter, right? Uh, let's consider that there was someone who has made this big move, right? So it probably wasn't me or you trading our few contracts, but someone who has created, who has a lot of capital, right? So that's how I find that these CLS candles, right? So it's the same on the Bitcoin, right? Let's go here. Look on the monthly, right? We had, what is the CLS candle in here, right? We are bullish clearly, right? Then we're looking for the manipulation. Who is doing this manipulation? These market makers, right? So they create this candle in here, right? And then you're waiting for the same these liquidity things, right? And it's same on the all time frames, all pairs, right? Look here, Solana. When I come to the charts, first what I'm looking for is a big candles. That's what I want to trade, right? Look, right? And then I'm looking for the key levels around, right? What was key level for me? This down candle, right? Why? Why this down candle? Maybe because it fits me? No, because this down candle is definitely where this break through some highs, right? We don't know it yet, but look, right? Isn't it? Look, these highs. Where is the initial move of this movement until this break, right? It's here, right? So that's the order block. That's where the price comes to retest. That's where they come to add another position, right? Once they create some new highs in here, right? We don't know where yet, right? However, there is a way actually to measure it. Let me show you. You can measure a manipulation, which is here, right? This would be our manipulation, and then you can do this standard deviations, right? Let me show you. Right, so this is the latest manipulation, and then you can do the standard deviations, right? And mostly the price is doing the 3 deviations, right? So you have the 1, 2, 3, right? So maybe around here 600, it's a possible it's gonna play, right? Maybe in here they start do some corrections into some level which has broke through this recent high, right? Which would be probably some correction in here, right? That's how it could play, right? Always look for the last down candle, last level which has initiated, which is the initial, how to call it, like order block or level which initiated the break of the new highs, right? Which has made something significant on the charts, right? So that's how I would explain that, right? Could you list elements that could be considered as a key level, right? So this is it, right? So list of the elements that could be a key level. Let me take you back to my presentations. I'll show you my key levels which I'm looking for. Key levels are here. I'm looking only to the order block, right, which is basically nothing else than just a down candle which has swept the liquidity, and then we have the close above engulfing those consecutive down candles or the one down candle, right? There's more rules how to identify where from to take a trade, right? But that would be my basic definition, right? So that could be a consecutive down candles, and then when you have the candle which is engulfing that, that's a order block, right? Then we have fair value gap or inverted fair value gap and alt highs and lows, right? and change in the order flow, which is actually the order flow. I'm focusing just on these 3 key levels, right? And that's where I'm taking the trades from. That's what works best for me, right? Shame that we didn't have the open profit in here, because this looks really good. And yeah, so let's check the another ones, right? Nice price action. Yeah, trader, it's a nice price action today. Does session timing matters with CLS? Yes, it's actually matters with CLS. It matters a lot. The CLS is actually working with the specific times, right? Especially, I have spotted this in some indices and the classic assets, right? They have a specific times when they working, right? And you can really time a perfect low of the markets based on this, right? So there's a specific times, and I can tell you the small tip around at 10 o'clock a.m. it's a CLS time when they finishing the instructions and input matching. That's where the low of the day is mostly created, right? And works in the crypto also. Yeah. Do you wait for the inducement or the more aggressive type? Thanks for the answer. Beam trader, David. So always picking to run time. Okay, so about the time frames, there has to be order, right, in the time frames. You cannot go, you cannot simply take 1 minute, you cannot simply take entry from the 1 minute when you're trading from the monthly level, right? So there has to be some kind of order, right? So for example, from the monthly, you're looking to trades on the daily, right? And it has always the same rules. Let me show you. So from the monthly, you're trading on the daily, and if you don't know what the time frame you should use, always use this. What is it? Number 4. That's your key, right? So when you have a time frame monthly, then divide it by 4, right? So you have the monthly, weekly, daily, right? Or by 3 in this case. But if you go the lower time frames, when you have a 4-hour candle, you shouldn't be trading on the 1 hour. You should divide it by 4, right? So you have the 4 hours, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, right? That's the classic time frames, right? From the 1 hour time frame, you should be trading on the M5, right? And etc., right? So always divide by at least, it's not actually like by 4, but I would say by the 4 time frames, 4 lower time frames, right? So if we remove this 2 days, so for example, you have the daily, okay. I hope you know what I mean, right? The time zone or the CLS. Time zone is Central European time, right? Central European time. Is the PowerPoint available anywhere to download? No, this PowerPoint is not available to download yet, but it will be soon. Hello, Satoshi Nakaba. Yeah, okay, so getting funding account very soon. That's great, Rizwe. Okay, so maybe is it in this? I'm not sure if I mentioned these time frames in here. Give me a second. Give me a second. I'm not sure if I put these time frames in it yet. No, I didn't include the time frames. I still need to probably add it in there. All right. Yeah, so let's try to find some another trade, right? So what has happened in here? This is good. What you do now, right? Let's try to check what's going on the Bitcoin. Let's go to 4 hours. If there is a time, could you go through all the questions? Quite impressive stuff was asked. Yeah. Actually, this is our trade. Look, this is how powerful it can be if you understand the basics of the price action and the liquidity, right? So if there is anything you take from today's stream and you implement it to your trading, it would be this, right? This is key. And then this, right? And you need to understand when to do it, right? So you basically mixing the time frames, right? You're finding this on the higher time frame, right? Then you're looking for this on the lower time frame, and you're doing it with the correct time frames, right? So what? So let's bring it. Wow, this Bitcoin is amazing. Anyway, so let's bring it here, right? We have the monthly. Again, I will explain that, right? So we have the monthly, right, where we are seeing what? This, right? Only of course it's upside down, right? So the liquidity is higher, right? Then we have the simple thing, which is the core of my strategy. The basically you have the range, you have the manipulation, then you targeting opposing range, right? Which is happening in here, right? Then you go lower time frame and you're looking for the continuation, right? As you have it, then you following the steps, right? And you following what? Again, you following the liquidity. You can see the candles are closing above, right? Closing above, closing above, closing above. Then you see a sweep before the price breaking higher, and then you apply what? Closing above, closing above, closing above. You have liquidity higher. Then you see the sweep in here, right? And then the liquidity is where? Still higher, but you just targeting that opposing range, right? So you have sweep, a liquidity appears in here, right? So that's what you still follow up and down, right? And the another, as here was the question, actually about the times, right? About the times. Do you have a about the time? So as I mentioned in here, right, the CLS is working in specific times, and there is a times when the market is moving, of course, more sharply than not, right? So the best way, in my opinion, is to trade on the session open, the New York session open, right, or the London session open. And the New York is definitely better during New York session is definitely better for the volume, right? Because we can see if we go to the exo charts and we check on the 2 hours time frame, right, we can see that the most volume is coming later in the day, right? Here, if we zoom a little bit, we can see that during the midnight, here's a very weak volume, right? 70 millions, 50 millions, and now 177 million, right? So you can see the volume is much bigger than during the London during the day, right? So US is definitely bigger for all pairs, right? Here is the Ethereum, right? Look what's happening on the Ethereum, right? 44 millions contracts or whatever it is. Ethereum actually looks quite interesting, right? So now I want to give you some tips, guys. Look, here is what is happening on the Bitcoin, right? We had the range, price manipulated, closed inside, right? And it's going to hit this high, right? So it's all nice, it's great, but you want to find the trades where you still have this room and this potential, right? Look, this is a Solana, right? It's almost done, right? I'm not saying that the Solana is not tradable right now, but it's, you know, you already have the move playing, right? Sui. Here we have the big range, right? There was also this one small one, and it's already played out. Here the big range, you are in the half. You still have a room to play it. Here's the Doge, right? Look, he has a huge range in here, right? So there's still big room to play this up, right? At least into the 50%. Remember, in the 50% of that range, there is mostly pullback, right? Pullback. Or there can be, they extend and then they make a pullback, right? There's a few more price action patterns which I have spotted, but not gonna explain them today. But what we're looking for, as I said, we need a tip, right? The Bitcoin is amazing, right? Solana, Sui, all nice. But you need to watch the charts which are kind of like oversold and are playing the pattern, right? Are on the beginning of this journey, right? So let's look. Here's the link, right? Looks good. Look how much room we have, right? This is 2 days chart, right? So on the daily, this means that the link have a chance to go higher for the next maybe 2-3 weeks, right? Here's the Ethereum, right? Again, we have the range, we have the manipulation, right? Let's check on the here, right? Same thing, right? We don't see it here. We see just a small range, look, right? But you also have a 3 months range, right? That's the one which I have drawn. So you have the big CLS candle, big candle, remember, right? Coming into the level, right? Where is the level? Here, right? This down candle level is actually from the monthly, right? In here, right? Where the price has made this significant move, right? So it's playing, and we have the time and we have a room for the big move, right? And what you're gonna do in here? You're not gonna be stupid. You're not gonna be greedy, and you're not gonna be trying to FOMO anything, right? What you're gonna do, what we have learned today, you watching the candles. You know where the price is going, right? You have room to the 50% until here, right? So it's this, right? You obviously you can buy on the spot and you can wait until the price come in here, or you can do that if you have the balls. You can enter in here with a huge leverage and you can hold all of this, right? That's where you make a lot of money. And but what you do if you want to do your daily action, you follow the candles. You follow the 4-hour candles. You don't do that on the lower time frame candles, right? So what you see, right? Where's the liquidity? Above, right? Above, right? This candle will probably close above this one, right? But if you have the candle which is kind of a bigger one, right? Then you're waiting for the next candles creating something like this, right? Let me right? You have the candle creating something like this, right? Then maybe, you can have a multiple candles, but what you know in this moment, right? When some candle, when these candles will be closing, when these candles will be closing inside here, and still none of them swept this high, right? You still know, but this is what I have shown you in here. Again, let's come back, right? That the liquidity is on highs and you're waiting for this, right? So what you're gonna do, you're tracking it, right? You have the higher time frame bias. We have this 3 months range. We know where the price is going. And you're still doing this one thing. There will be situations where you will be probably stopped out, right? So you have this 4 hours, and then you're waiting for what? You're waiting for your range to be created, right? Preferably, the candle would be the bigger one, right? Bigger one, bigger manipulation into the key level, right? You need to find a key level. Then you put your range in there, right? You're waiting for a manipulation and you're targeting the highs. You're not gonna target these 50% and hoping that you're gonna get rich in this one trade. You go from this low to this high, right? That's how you follow it. right? And if you then go back to this daily, you can see what we're doing. We have the range, we're waiting for the manipulation, enter in here, and playing up, right? And then in here, what I've shown you here on the lower time frame, it's the same thing. You still doing the still same thing, right? What would you, okay, next question. If there is a, next time would be quite impressive. Yeah, I'm trying to do. Getting funding, congratulations, my friend, for the Rizwe, getting a funding account. You the man, my friend. What would you advise to guys that have the problem with the consistency? All right, guys, consistency is the very important, right? So there is a few mistakes which people are doing. Sorry, I need to drink. People are doing a lot of mistakes by over trading, not sticking to the plan, trying to pass the challenge very quickly, right? Not giving it enough time. And trying to impress the people in the community, right? So what's your solution? Is basically having a this, which is a trading journal. You need to have your trading journal where you follow all your steps, right? All your trades, right? You need to write inside all your trades, right? And what it actually keeps you, it actually keeps you to it actually keeps you it actually keeps you from overtraining, and it will keeps you from the overtraining this way, that I don't open a trade when I'm not basically open trade only if you adding it into the journal, right? And you will find out that adding every trade into the journal is so annoying that you would not want to do it like 10 times a day, right? You will really be selective, looking just for the best trades, right? Here's actually one trade from the Saturday, right, which I had in here, and it was actually the same thing, right? We had the range in here on the Bitcoin. You can see here was the money, this candle swept, closed inside, right? And then I was expecting what? Price reached this low, right? Let's check how this play out, right? In here, right? So I have entered in here after price closed. It's not seen on this time frame, but on the 30 minutes, it closed below, right? So I have entered my stop loss above. Why? Because once the price swept in here, what did the traders? They entered long, right? Then the liquidity is lower in here, right? And then it has reached the target nicely, right? So you can see entry in here, target on the low of the range, right? It was 1400 trade, right? Here is a higher time frame candles, right? So we have the one candle, another candle sweeping, closing inside, then you entering and targeting the low of the range, right? And here is the one thing which I have actually told you. If you're trying to target too much, right, you will be punished for your greediness, right? Because look what actually has happened in here, right? Let's go back to trading view. Trading view here on the BTC, right? Let's go daily, right? Boom, right? And it was actually this trade in here on the daily. No, it's not BTC, it's Solana. I was surprised, right? Look, it was here. Right? If you're greedy and you think you will make money, you will make much more, and you will be targeting too much, and you will not exit. Entry was here on this candle open, right? Targeting this low, right? And that's where I have exited, right? On the lower time frame looks better to understand it, right? And if you're greedy, if you think, okay, I'm gonna make much more, that's gonna be amazing trade, and then boom, right? So you need to stick into the strategy, exit in here, right? Then I actually made one mistake. I have actually had another trade and it was losing one, right? I of course don't have only the winning trades, right? Look in here. We had, I don't have this trade in the journal yet, right? You have another range, right? And price closing inside, right? So you can expect the price going lower, right? But what was the mistake in here, right? Look, we have the higher time frame range playing in here, right? This is the target, right? So this is actually, yes, this is the pattern, right? But it's against the trend, right? Now this is also important. So if you have the monthly force, monthly time frame going up, right? So you have the monthly bullish, right? You can take the counter trend trades, but it cannot be weekly, right? It should be also, if you remember the number 4, right? 4 times lower time frame, you can take a counter trend trade on the 4 times lower time frame, right? So it would be on the daily, right? Or maybe 4 hours. You can be shorting, but don't take weekly, right? That's the mistake I did in here, right? But that's the mistakes which we do, right? So even though you have your trading plan, you have your trading journal, you do all the things, you have your trading plan, everything described, right? Then you do the mistakes, you still do the mistakes, right? But here I will tell you one thing. If you do the mistakes, write them. I'm writing my mistakes in here, right? You see, taking CLS trade without key level. I did it many times, right? So I write it in here, right? Entering without a clear change in the order flow. Not taking profit on the range, right? That's what I actually show you right now in here, right? About this thing. Or I actually deleted it already, right? So not taking the trade on the range, right? Or closing early, right? Or placing target correctly inside the range, right? That's also the one thing with this range trading, with this CLS range trading, right? You should not be targeting when you have your trade. Your target should be actually always inside the range, right? Not above the range, right? So that's actually how this today's trade played, right? You see, yeah, this today it went higher, right? I have put my target slightly here because I thought that 100k would be easily reached, right? But always it should be like here on the range, right? Not any high, because it's not working, especially if you are not trading with the trend, right? And I think we're almost reaching the time. And sorry, I need to drink. 10 years with you, I'm slowly to be ready to challenge. Okay, Michael. Yeah, it's Michael from. Hi, Michael. Yeah, some people are quite long time with me. I'm actually, I have my Telegram. It's not gonna be 10 years. I have it from 2017. Is I think when I opened my group. Don't trust Andrew Academy. Trust Dave Hunter. Yeah, guys. All right. Yeah. Yeah, so regarding the consistency, I definitely suggest you to create such a thing like your trading journal, right? And put everything in here, right? Reflect your mistakes, right? So I'm basically doing this every weekend. And hi, Maria. Hi. And I'm basically doing this every weekend, right? Even though I'm kind of would say profitable and I think successful, but still every weekend I sit down, I go through all my trades, and I do all of these reflections, especially write down what is wrong, what is right, what didn't work, right? In here, for example, you see I had some trades on the Bitcoin. They were profitable, but I still write down the things, right? Because it's simple. And this is how I close this stream today. The journal is the most important book in your life, right? Because there's not gonna be nothing better. That's you, that's your mistakes, and the mistakes are acceptable only if you learn the lesson from them, right? So this is what you're gonna do. You trade, you win, you journal, and then you repeat it again. If you don't journal your trade, you will not be repeating your trades. You will not be repeating the wins. If you trade, you lose, you journal, then you dissect the trade, you learn from the mistakes, you avoid it next time. And then, if you want to catch a trade and you miss it, you journal it also again, and then you catch it next time, right? This is the way how you improve. This is how you consistently improving yourself as a trader, and it's never ending story. If you decide to be trader, that's for the life. That's the lifestyle. It's not just here to make a money. If you're trying to trade, if you're trying trading, maybe because you think it will be solution for your current financial situation, it's not gonna work, right? It has to be your passion. You need to do these things. You need to be writing every your trade, everything, every data you can collect about the trade. What was the analysis, right? How you entered, what was the result, right? How did it go, right? Everything you need to simply collect it. Someone asked me here, what is my average monthly result, right? I will show you from my old website. I got actually my results here. Let me show you in here. Right, so here is my it's connected, right? So that's a quite few years since 2018, right? So some months very good, some months bad, right? In here you can see how actually everything in your life affect your trading. In 2024 I've been about to divorce with my wife, and a lot of problems. I really wasn't performing very well. Then I wake up and I start to work on myself, start to do the proper journaling, and look, 63%, 78, 52, 15, last month 72, right? So this is what makes you better, right? And as you've seen, the great results has been in the past months. You can see exactly how it reflects, because I have built this journal properly, started to do it in here in the November, and then December, January. Why is it not loading? Just need to close probably some few. No, don't know why it's not loading. Right, so since I started journaling properly, November, December, January, February, March, April, right? In the total, I have collected a lot of trades, right? How many trades it is? It's already 68 trades, right? I have made 83 RR, right? I have everything journaled in here, right? This is what makes you profitable. When you start to do the reflection, it's not any secret strategy, it's not CLS, it's not following the great guru, it's not me, but it's you, and this work. This is it, guys. All right, my friends. How long? Okay, so all right. So right now I'm going to answer the last 3 questions, right? Hi Dave, I just want to thank you really quick what you doing for what you are doing here. I had a crazy habit with gambling, and thoughts wisdom shared on the stream really helped me. That's a great, my friends. Busy brokers. All right. How long did it take you to get profitable? For me, it was around 4 to 5 years, because back in the day, there wasn't some good trading gurus. We didn't have too many things on the YouTube, and I was actually everything learning by myself, and yeah, it took me a lot. But as also, I didn't have this journal back in the days, right? If you do the journal like this, you would be successful, right? Look, in our community, actually, there's the guys who already making it, right? Here in the community chat, look, this guy already get funded in some. Where was that? Trading wins, right? Look, We have the guy passing, right? Don't know how to. Simply he's making it, right? So I'm telling you, do the right things, be consistent in taking the notes, in reflecting everything, write everything down, do a lot of screenshots, right? And that's it. Imagine how angry is now your ex that you be. Okay, guys. So this is it for today. I think we had a great stream. This is how you want to see it, right? This is what you want. This is how you want to see your trades to be happening, right? Okay. So I will wrap it up in here, and thank you for coming. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.